Yo, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. This is the Piper Academy Network, and I am Army Piper. This is a show where we're bringing you the headlines, everything you need, economy, the technical analysis, whatever it may be that we think would be good knowledge for you. We bring that to you on this show. Knowledge is profit. That's what we say here. But guys, we got green bubbles today on the daily. Looking at the hourly right now on the crypto bubbles, also seeing mostly green. It's looking pretty good. Bitcoin right now making a nice little rally move. It is pulling back to some support, but we got to talk about it. Is a new all-time high set to be coming for Bitcoin. Looking at the heat map could be possible. Plus, we've got some information on the second and third order effects of what could be happening with the Fed funds freeze. What could be happening with our next FOMC, because we've seen that Europe and Canada has now cut rates. We paused yesterday. We're going to be breaking all this down today, guys. There's a ton of stuff. Strap in. It's not Friday, but we're packing it in like it is, guys. It's Thursday. Let's go. It's time. Class is in session. Let's go. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Morning Market Report. I am RB Piper. Appreciate everyone that is joining us here. Why am I sitting on that thing? There we go. We got this chart going right now. Guys, you can see we got a little break over that trend line, but it looks like we're trying to come back and do a little retest on it. We're going to be following all of that closely today and getting all of this info out to you. We got several videos we're going to show too. So, but hey, welcome. Glad to have everyone here. I see Alexandra G, the mod queen, is in the house. Trade Intuition. Roaming Brave saying good morning. Good morning to you. Crypto Billy, what's up there, man? I did not take your wrench away because you failed your inspection, bro. I want you to know that. I just had to. We had so many wrenches, man. Like it was all wrenches one day in chat. So I apologize. I'll give you one back if you really want it, Billy. You know that, bro. LBC is in here with us. We've got the big reason that we have so many blue wrenches in our chat is because we have such a big team. And one of those key members is the guy that does a co-host show with me every morning. It's right there, the OC guy. What's up? Yeah, so all the show content creators, we all got blue wrenches. OC, what's going on, man? Do you like your blue wrench? Do I need to take it away from you, OC? Did you fail inspections?
No, what? Why would you take my blue wrench, man? Oh, no, not much. I mean, pretty good day today. I'm not eating on camera. That's for a good thing. Yeah, I woke up early today, made my breakfast, and ready to rock and roll. By the way, on our public account on Binance that we'll be following along, I just took profit before the show. So just so you are warned, I take profit, and then I see the thumbnail. New all-time highs. Come on, Piper. Really?
It's possible, bro.
Yeah,
It's
that's right.
possible. Look, here's the bottom line. We have got many things that should be saying, you know what? Risk off, risk off, risk off. We've talked about the 10-year treasury yield for a while. We've got job numbers that are showing weakening, right? That they're getting less. Matter of fact, I got a video today on how the Fed pause of funds, of funding, the Fed funding pause could actually affect some other jobs that we're not even seeing yet. So we've got all this data that says you should be going risk off, right? Earnings reports are being missed left and right from companies, so on and so forth. But the markets continue. The bulls, man, the bulls have got brass cojones a mile wide, each one, dragging those cojones on the floor everywhere that they go, and they just keep pushing it higher. So, there's a point where, yeah, you can go, hey, I understand economy. I understand the macro, and I understand the macro well. And the macro says you should be going risk off right now. But the bulls did not get the freaking memo. Okay. So they are just continuing higher. Every time I go, oh, look, this economic data is coming. This is getting ready to crash things. It does a little pullback. It gets absorbed quickly by the bulls, and then it goes to the upside. That's what happens over and over and over. So we just got to talk about the possibility of a new all-time high is possibly coming. So, Beyond that, let's talk about this GDP growth rate, because again, data that should be pulling back the markets and we're not seeing it. I want to get into the news and let's break all this down. We got a lot to talk about today, OC, a lot. So get ready, get your coffee ready. We're going to be having some conversations today about the reality of the stuff. The stuff, man. Let's jump over to the news and let's talk about that. We'll be right back with you, OC. Okay, guys, taking a look here, what we're seeing, total market cap right now on Bitcoin, actually on total crypto, is at $3.57 trillion. We are 5% overvalued in the crypto space per the trend line, the fair value trend line, okay? Looking here at the current risk, we're at 61% risk today, getting a little bit higher. Yesterday, we were about the 59.6%, so we are getting a little bit higher risk levels today. Let's go look at the unemployment. Nope, at the Bitcoin dominance. Right now with stables, Bitcoin dominance is sitting at 58.8%. Without stables, it's at 62.6%, people. Bitcoin dominance is rocking. Let's go check out the fear and greed and see what that's looking like. Fear and greed index, get that over there. And let's pull this in. Currently, guys, we are at 70. That is our greed level. We're still sitting at greed in 70. Let's go take a look at the bubble, see what the prices are looking like down here. Bitcoin is currently up 2.9%, sitting at $105,000 right now. Ethereum at 3,248, up 4.4%, rallying almost double of that of Bitcoin. XRP is up 1.1% at $3.10. Solana up 5.3%, up $240. BNB up 2%. Not seeing as much growth, but remember, Binance is going through that whole thing in Europe where they're getting charges brought against them for fraud and tax evasion and human trafficking and whatever other FUD thing you can throw on top of that. That's what they're doing over there with BNB. It sounds to me like it's a extortion to get money from Binance. That's what it sounds like to me. Looking at Dogecoin up 3.1% at 33.5 cents. Cardano just under $1 at 96.7 cents, up 5% on the daily. Chainlink, Tron's up 4.4% at just under 25 cents. Chainlink is at $24.70, up 8.6%. If you guys don't know, Chainlink is the only one that is a U.S. company that also falls into like the Grayscale, the ETF. Like there's a bunch of things going on with Chainlink. So keep an eye on that. I don't know that it's going to be hitting, $600 to $800, but Chainlink's looking pretty good right now. Avalanche is up 5.2%, $34.25. Stellar Lumen's up 3.4%, moving up a position to number 13. SWE making a rebound up to a number 14 position, up 12.9%. It's $4.11. Matter of fact, Crux of Crypto on Alpha Bros just put out a new video on SWE. You guys should go check that out. Pretty good video. Toncoin down 0.1%. It's lost 3 positions to number 16. Litecoin getting some bullish information, guys. If you guys haven't seen, we're going to talk about this today. It's up 17.4%. There's a reason for that. Has to do with the SEC. We're going to talk about it. Like I said, a lot of data. Up 2 positions to number 18. It's at $131 right now. Polkadot up 7.6%. And Hyperliquid moved up 19.7%, up 3 positions, hitting and taking that number 20 spot with $27.38 being its price point right now on Hyperliquid. Let's go over and check out the stock market. I want to get into the U.S. here. Let's give this a refresh. Excuse me. Let's go check the look and see what we're seeing here. So volatility index right off the bat is down. That's a good thing. We like to see that. Russell 2K, small caps, getting a little pullback today. Why? Because it's going into the mega stocks, the Mag 7, if you will. NASDAQ is up 0.36%. S&P is up 0.47%. And that Dow Jones is up just under 0.2% at 0.19. Let's go see the bonds right now. Bond getting a pullback on the 10-year. This is good. We like to see this. It's at 4.5% right now, down about 0.03%. So not a whole lot down, but we do like to see that it's not getting close to that 5%. The longer we can stretch that out, the better off we are. Let's go look at gold and the precious metals. Gold is at 28.27 right now. 28.28. Prove me wrong there, gold. Thanks. $2,828 right now on gold. It is up 1.24%, closing in on a new all-time high. I've told you guys this whole year, I think $3,000 is going to be the target that gold hits this year. Silver is up 3.48% at $32.48. Copper's making a rebound. It's up about a little bit less than 1%, about 0.75%. Platinum's at 3.2%, and palladium is at 3.2%, breaking $1,000 mark. So, yeah, good job there. Let's look at the FX market real fast. Euro versus the USD up up a little bit. USD versus Japan down a little bit. GDP versus USD making some rallies. Australian dollar just unchanged right now as we speak. And the Canadian dollar, USD versus the Canadian, getting a flip side down. Probably because they cut rates. That's probably what I'm thinking. Let's go over to the economic calendar, talk about this GDP data that came in this morning, guys. We had GDP growth rate. Here's the bad data. This should be crashing markets. Should be crashing markets, okay? GDP growth rate quarter over quarter was at 3.1%. They expected it would be 2.6 to 3%. Consensus to forecast came in at 2.3. This means that our economy shrank. Actually, it didn't shrink. It came in positive, up 2.3%, but less than what it was before. So it's slowing down. The growth rate is slowing down. That's what I should say. GDP price index. This is the price. This kind of an inflationary measure, right? It's the GDP, what it costs for our goods and services, up 2.2% from my previous 1.9%. Was below the consensus and forecast, but nonetheless, it is showing that things are getting more expensive. So this is signs of inflation, signs of economic slowdown, okay? Initial jobless claims came in 207K, not as high as what they were expecting, but I do think that we're going to see these rally back up, and I'll show you the video on why with that in a moment. But that was a better than expected, right? So jobless claims slowing down. This is where we are right now. Growth of the economy slowed down. Goods for the economy went up in price. Initial jobless claims, people filing for unemployment, came down. So, well, I guess it didn't really come down. It just less than what it was. It slowed down on its expansion, okay? Continuing jobless claims, they revised the previous up to 1.9 million. We came in again on continuing at 1.85 million. They were expecting that it was going to be a little bit higher than that. So we came in pretty much lower than what they expected, but still pretty close to that 1.9 number. So core PCE prices quarter over quarter. This was used to be 2.2. They were expected 2.5, came in at 2.5. So yes, prices are on the core items are going up also. GDP sales is slowing down from 3.3 to 3.2, but not as much as they expected it was going to. So overall, guys, we did get some data coming in today that says things are looking wonky on the economy. It's getting more expensive. It's not selling as quickly. And then DXY needs to hold 107.6. Dude, Dixie's going to do what it does, man. I think it could pull back and still get another rebound. We have the way that this data is falling, it's enough to just keep it in a ping pong motion. So yes, tomorrow, guys, we are going to get the actual core PCE for month over month. And as of right now, it's expected to be higher. This again would be an inflationary indicator. If it comes in higher, it means that things are more expensive. And then personal income and personal spending tomorrow looks like people are spending more money. Why? Because the inflation's coming up. So all of that stuff going to be coming in tomorrow. Let's talk about what I got here on X. This is the Litecoin move that I'm telling you guys about. The SEC has officially acknowledged Canary Capital's application for a Litecoin ETF, the first altcoin ETF to get recognition. So maybe that gets approved. A lot of people right now are very bullish on the fact that they think that's coming. So do we think Chainlink will hit $200? Average Crypto Joe, we'll talk about that. Let me favorite that so I don't miss that. Sorry. Yeah, yesterday, guys, I told you the European Central Bank cut rates by 25 basis points, following right behind what Canada did. We, of course, paused, and now everyone's saying the Fed is next. Let's talk about that, because when I look at the CME group for the next FOMC, it's an 82% chance of no change right now. By the way, the next one's going to be March 19th. Not even going to be in February. We don't have an FOMC in February. So I don't know that that is a true statement. I don't think that we're going to do that quickly. Energy prices are falling, by the way, guys. Since January 20th, both crude oil and natural gas. Whoa, sir, go back. What are you doing? Okay. Both natural gas and crude oil have fallen in a straight line, now down 10% from their highs. President Trump's solution to inflation, because he told Jerome Powell, bring these rates down. He didn't bring them down. He paused because Jerome Powell does not work for the president. Again, as I keep telling everyone. And so now his solution is to lower energy prices. That will save people money. That's what he's thinking. So, what else is there? Yeah, Jerome Powell got criticized by Donald Trump. He said, Jay Powell and the Fed failed. This is what Donald Trump put out. To stop the problem they created with inflation, I will do it by unleashing American energy production, slashing regulation, rebalancing international trade, and reigniting American manufacturing. But I will do much more than stopping inflation. I will make our country financially and otherwise powerful again. The Fed has done a terrible job on bank regulation. Treasury is going to lead the effort to cut unnecessary regulation and will unleash lending for all American people and businesses. So, again, I bring to question, let's jump back over to Duo Cam. I bring to question if Trump actually understands lending, because he's talking about lending for the people. In that statement, he's talking about lending to the people. We don't get our interest rates, and our lending does not come from the Fed interest rate. It comes from the 10-year Treasury yield. If that's the case, what is he doing to address the 10-year Treasury yield and not so much about the Fed fund rate? I don't know. You guys let me know in the chat down there. Does Trump even understand how this all works? That's not how that works at all, Trump. We'll see. We got a couple of articles. Let's check out the chat here real fast, OC. Did I miss anything in the chat? Anybody talking about anything in here? Doesn't Chainlink work? No? Okay, go for it. Sorry. I was talking still. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, that's it. Just basically take a look at DXI needs to hold. Just comments about what's happening right now in the markets.
Yep. Brokoshi Nodenair said, Congress printing money with nothing to back it caused inflation. Yes, absolutely. We know this. Supply and demand is actually what causes inflation. So when you have more money to buy stuff than what you had before, and you have the supply chain broken or the supply chain not able to provide for that, that's what causes inflation on the market. So if you actually print a bunch of money, most of our money doesn't stay in the U.S. It goes outside the U.S. Most of the U.S. currency exists in $100 bills, and a majority of the $100 bills exist outside of the U.S. border. Those are both facts. So, let's talk about, I want to talk about this video because he's talking about wasting money. Let's go talk about wasting money because we got a video here that I want to show you guys. This is going to blow your guys' minds. All right. This is the good old press conference. OC, what's going on with your camera, bro?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Let's check out and see what the press secretary says here.
During this pause, Doge and OMB have actually...
By the way, she's talking about the Fed pause that we were just talking about. I got two videos I want to show you guys on this.
Just during this pause, Doge and OMB have actually found that there was $37 million that was about to go out the door to the World Health Organization, which is an organization, as you all know, that President Trump, with the swipe of his pen in that executive order, is no longer wants the United States.
Wait till you hear the next one, though. The next one's mind-blowing. Yep, there it is.
That wouldn't be in line with the president's agenda. Doge and OMB also found that there was about to be 50 million taxpayer dollars that went out the door to fund condoms in Gaza. That is a preposterous waste of taxpayer money. So that's what this pause is focused on.
So yeah, there you go. $50 million to buy condoms in Gaza. That's what they decided to do with their tax money. But let's talk about this Fed fund pause real fast because I do have another video over here. Let me go to solo cam. Let's bring this up, and I'm going to show you guys. This is Timothy James. He used to be called the crypto weatherman. I've been following him for a long time. We've talked quite a bit, and the dude is really smart. He's a macro economist investor. Okay, and so he was talking about some second and third order effects of that Fed fund pause. Let's see what he has to say about this because he thinks this is going to actually send us closer to recession. Let's listen.
Recession is guaranteed now. Millions of people woke up today and found out that they're essentially unemployed. I'm Timothy, a quantitative economist. What are the economic ramifications of pausing all federal funding via grants and loans? Remember this for later. GDP growth rate is 2.5%, and total US GDP is roughly 27 trillion. And we can say that roughly $6 trillion goes into these federal grants and loans. USA Gov has $6.8 trillion listed. And this impacts specific companies like Pacific Gas and Electric, which had a $15 billion loan for hydropower, basically free electricity. But it doesn't just affect the corporation. That $15 billion loss essentially laid off a good portion of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers. Another example, the Housing and Urban Development, which received $226 billion. That money goes into things like rental assistance, which is desperately needed right now, homeless assistance, and construction. So there will be a lot of people in unions such as the Laborers International Union of North America that all of a sudden wake up and they're laid off because there's no money to fund their job. Now, why is pausing federal grants and loans going to cause a recession? Coming back to GDP, a value of all goods and services, much of that is propped up by, no shocker, government spending. And a recession is defined as 2 consecutive quarters of decline. We're looking for a negative rate. And when you take away even $1 trillion away from $27 trillion, just $1 trillion, your loss in growth is approximately 3.7%, which will far surpass your 2.5% annual change.
So let's talk about that, because he's got some valid points there that I want to talk about. Yeah, they did change the recession of GDP, right? That we know that part, but what he's saying there is not wrong. The government, we know this. They've been keeping everything afloat by creating government jobs, by creating government funded positions. The government's just been using taxpayer money, not the economy paying for the workforce to keep it afloat. And pulling that plug does set up for jobs to be lost, like the union workers and stuff like that. And then on top of that, also that money that was coming in, all that stuff that was part of the GDP, even though it was like, hey, look, it's like buying, a box of candy bars that you're supposed to be selling to show that you sold more. That's what they're basically doing with all of this. And while it's very shady to approach business like that as a government, right? But at the end of the day, it is what has been happening. So this Fed pause could have some residual effects on jobs, on people working, on the sectors of construction, energy, like so on and so forth. So he does have some valid points there. It's going to be interesting to see how this all plays out. I got an article over here that I'm going to talk about in a bit. Tesla reported at $600 million. Actually, we're just going to go over headlines from here, and then we'll jump into the charts, OC. Lots of stuff today. Look at here. Tesla reported $600 million in Bitcoin profit jump after the digital asset rule change. So you guys remember we were talking back in December about the FASB that was getting ready to change, where now a company does not have to sell their Bitcoin to show profit, and they can actually show profit on gains made without selling digital assets. MicroStrategy was the topic of that discussion. Well, Tesla was able to actually get a pump today. Tesla's only moving up today, despite having earnings reports yesterday that missed expectations. So they were below their expectation on earnings. Tesla should have dumped on that. Tesla reported $600 million in profit, though, from the Bitcoin they hold. Look at that. After they had the ability to not have to sell and claim that net for income in quarter four, $600 million benefit from holding Bitcoin. So there you go. Shout out to Tesla, Elon Musk, getting them diamond hands going on his Bitcoin. And then lastly, Grayscale launches Bitcoin miners ETF to offer Bitcoin mining exposure. So an ETF coming that encompasses all of the Bitcoin miners. I'm sure some of them will have a bigger percentage inside of that ETF. But if you don't know which one to buy the ETF. Grayscale is going to be putting it out soon. Shout out to Crypto Pollo, Cluck in the house. What's up, bro? Let's go jump over to the Bitcoin chart, talk about what we're seeing on here. And OC, we'll wrap it around to you. See what you're looking at on the charts today. Let's roll. It is the top of the hour. Let's get it.
Absolutely.
Right. Looking here at Bitcoin, guys, we talked about this level yesterday we did have this falling wedge here. And I said, look, if we break through this, we are hitting that level of resistance. Be careful. Value area high coming in right there off of that fixed range volume profile. On top of that, we got our resistance box that we've had on here for well over a month in our Discord. If you guys are in there, you guys would have this because you would just be able to copy the link that I dropped down and put all of this on your chart. These levels have continued to play out. Matter of fact, as we're moving forward here, need to continue to extend these because we are continuing to play these levels over and over again. Right now, though, guys, we did get that breakout. We came in for a little retest, almost hitting it perfectly right there on that spot, getting a pump up. And why do I think we could be heading for a $110,000 and possibly breaking through for a liquidity grab on a new all-time high? Well, let me show you guys. Looking here, it does look like we are starting to get pretty hot on the 4 hour. But when I bring this over to the 10-day, you can see here, or on the daily, I mean, you can see that we still got plenty of room on the RSI. We still have plenty of room on the daily here to move up on the Oscillator Pro. And we just clicked in on a signal to the bull side here, getting ready to cross over for another bullish signal on the MACD normalized histogram, giving us another curve back up. If we look here, the delta median on this, which is, price action tends to trade between on the predictive ranges from our dynamic reactor in between the two gold bands, right? This is your delta median. You can see how well these were respected. By the way, they printed all the way back here. These do not repaint. This is the levels. We got a nice bounce here yesterday. If we head up to that, that is a $109,400 level, okay? If we head to the top band, that's 117,000. So let me go down. Let me go down here and grab this heat map, and let's talk about what I'm seeing on there. Because when we look at the heat map, well, yeah, we can see that we got a nice big heat cluster here. That's coming in at about $107,500. Go a little bit higher, though, and look at that. That is $110,000 sitting in liquidity above that previous bubble. If we come in here and look at this daily again, guys, look at the daily. There's that level that they're showing right there on the daily. That's that level. Okay, we've already broken it once. If we come back in and go right there, that's 110,000, and that would be a new all-time high. But I actually think we could make it all the way up if we continue with the bullish momentum. Mind you, it's not going to be a straight-up line. There's going to be retests in here, OC retests galore that you guys will be able to take advantage of, and we will be taking advantage of it in our Discord. But we could be looking at $117,500. Interestingly enough, come over here. What is the 0.66 on my golden pocket? These are trend-based fibs, by the way, pulled from the low back here to the high to the low, and it gives us a trend-based fib extension, right? And that is the area that we're watching here. That 0.66 level there, guys, guess what? $117,853, right in line with what I'm talking about on our golden bands here, the predictive ranges on the daily. Guys, we have an opportunity here for some good moves coming soon to a chart near you. Make sure you stay tuned into Piper Academy to get all that stuff. Who all do we have in the chat? Because good Lord, did we just blow the F up? Looks like the Otter Gang has joined us. Alex O Crypto just busted the... Alex O Crypto, you see the Kool-Aid man? Just bust through the wall. He's like, oh, yeah. I think Alex O Crypto crawls through the window because he's not big enough to take out a whole wall. But he comes through the window, and then the Otter crowd, as he stands there and screaming out, gang, 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 they take down the entire wall behind him. So shout out to Alex O Crypto, man. Drop those Alex O Otters in the chat. Big, much love to you, man. Appreciate you coming over. All right, OC, what are you seeing on the chart? Actually, if you want to talk about Bitcoin, what are your thoughts about $117,000 Bitcoin, or at least a new all-time high coming soon? Because you were a little hesitant about that until I just showed you the data. What do you think, man?
Oh man, just that low? I mean, we're expecting half of a million Bitcoin, isn't it? And aren't we all expecting that?
Yeah, if you haven't seen that video, go watch it.
Yes, please. Complete honesty. There we go. This is our pull account. Man, I've been just rushing. I mean, let's just go for a little bit of how we've been managing this account. Remember, this is a $1,000 account, and so far this is the second week that we're trading it, and we have gone from 1,000 to 1,089. So basically, 8.9, almost 9% increase in less than 2 weeks, in less than a month. So let's take a look at one of the things that happened throughout the week, which was we identified this range. We bought, I don't know why it's not showing that. We bought below in the range. Oh, there it is. We low back in the range and then expecting for the range to go high. Did not happen. It flipped on us. That's all right. It was half of a position. We enter right here on another half of a position, making one single position. We took some profits at entry point, that retraced a little bit, and today in the morning we took profits fully. Just as we were speaking, we broke this previous high, so I FOMO'd in right here on the 3 minutes. You can see it right here on the freaking 3 minutes. I was just looking at the charts, and then as soon as we saw a retracement, we took some profits. 24 cents, $14 may not seem a lot, but remember, we are starting with $1,000, and we are trading between the election office of Donald Trump and all of that volatility that has been playing out. So I'd say like maybe 9% in 2 weeks is not that bad of a deal. So other than that, going into a little bit more into higher time frames, let's go to the 4 hours. We are moving upwards. The next area of resistance, of course, it is going to be somewhere around these areas. Oh, let me show it to you. There we go. Be around these areas on 107, very close to what you were talking about, Piper. So, and also right now we are running into a resistance of chart prime. So we need to see a retracement. And to be honest, I thought we are going to be having it on that candle. On the 15 minutes, I thought we are going to be having it as we had it rounded top going for a trend line. What trend line? This trend line that we have on our screen. So I was planning to get out in here, going back in right here, but seems like the market had other plans. On the 4 hours, we can still have that retracement. And I do believe that it's worth to giving it just a little bit of a wait. Maybe we'll search a little bit higher, and then we might be seeing this retracement basically breaking the trend line. It's not about your breakout, right? It's about your retest, maybe opportunities to jump back in as we have flip of the ribbon somewhere at 103,500, and then off we go with a beautiful higher low right there. So hopefully we can have that retracement. We hit the 107, we hit the 103, and then we should to Valhalla. Other than that, that's what I got on Bitcoin at this point. It's been, man, if you see me distracted, I was just, man, 3 minutes, not for me, still pretty fun, but man, try to
It's all right, OC. It's all right. I'm actually looking at SUI. SUI. Let's go talk about that. Shout out to 2Dub in the house. Shout out to everybody that's in here right now, guys. I appreciate everyone that has joined us right now. If you guys ever do so, please smash that like button up. It's free and it helps us out immensely. So I appreciate y'all being here. If you get any value out of this, share it with a friend like Alex O did. So he's always sharing. Sharing is caring. Let's go jump in and talk about SUI. And if you can pull up Litecoin, because I think Litecoin's got some great potential here with that ETF announcement. They've got an old school following of community, and Litecoin pretty solid in comparison to some of the stuff we've seen come out in crypto lately. So if you could pull that up, I'm going to go jump over and we'll check out SUI. Looking at that here, guys. So our levels that we've been talking about for a while here is based off of my fibs and this fixed range volume profile here. We do have some levels here that I'm watching closely. One, we hit our platinum pocket just like we did back here, like a boss, getting a bounce off of that. That would have been a great entry there. Rejection off the golden pocket. It is resistance. Previous support became resistance, came down. We broke through it now. We are currently getting a pullback on our 50% Fibonacci level. What this means, it's 50% of the entire sequence that this was pulled from, which was this low to this high. Now, keep in mind, we did have some breaks here that we came through and broke it, so I might pull some new ones on this for what I'm getting ready to show you. But as of right now, the 50% is where we are currently testing. I think more importantly, if I go over and I shut these down, I turned it off because I paid the bills. There we go. We have a retest going on of the value area low coming off of this fixed range volume profile. Now, we do have a really sharp spike of volume right here on the fixed range volume profile. Be aware of that because that is what we're basically getting our rejection on here. If I come over here and I just put a line right there on top, there we go. You'll see that's right there on that volume node, okay? But if we go and we pull some new fibs, I think that SWE has some upside potential here. It's going to need to do a refresh. It's going to need to cool off a little bit. We can see that we are pretty high on the 4-hour daily. We'll look at that in 1 second. But what I'm thinking here that we can do is let's go in, let's pull some new fresh fibs here from this top point down to the bottom, and let's see what we're seeing here. It's the 382 that we're getting a rejection on right now. I think that this is easily looking at a retest, a retracement, I should say, to its golden pocket. Ironically enough, that would cover perfectly with the point of control, the area of most volume within this fixed range volume profile. So I'm thinking that this is going to be able to get up there. What I would be watching for is we've got a bounce here right now, okay, off of the value area low. We get above the 382, we can get a bounce here. Mind you, the dynamic reactor is coming in here, but you can see it's starting to curve up. When it's going up, it's much easier to break through than when it's going down. You can see there, retest, rejected down, right? Once it's going up, we tend to use it as support. So I'm thinking that we get above this, your target is easily going to be in this range of the golden pocket. That's going to be $4.73, $4.60, we'll call it $4.70. 470, there we go. But be mindful, we do have the quantum reactor that's also falling right into that area too with that point of control. This is going to be the area where I think we see another pullback to the 50%. Remember, when you come down to the 50% fib and bounce off of it, that is super bullish. If you're underneath it and you reject off of it, very bearish. So we do have a buy indicator that has fired here on the Market Oracle Pro. I'm thinking that this is going to give us that move that we need. Money flow is coming up. Volume is coming up. Let's take a look at the daily and just wrap this up on SUI to see how it's looking on the daily with all of its oscillators. SUI, there we go. Looking at SUI here, we can see we have pulled back to the bottom level. This is the lower support band and the dynamic reactor in the daily, giving us a fantastic bounce there. Remember, we typically trade between these two golden bands on the predictive ranges, right? That's where a lot of price action occurs. That upper band would be 484. Looking at the 4-hour, 484. Well, that's going to put us right about at the value area high right here. So this is looking like we could be pushing, getting pullbacks each way here up to that level. And on the daily, that would put us right in line with what we're seeing there. Looking at the oscillators coming up here on the histogram, about to get a flip, a bullish flip there on the daily MACD normalized signal. Turning into a transition color here. We just clipped on the price here. So we could see on the true 7. So that's looking like it'll be coming up. The only thing I'm concerned about, money flow on the daily. But we are sitting very low for upside moves on most of the daily oscillators, giving us that target to the upside. Sweet. Setting up pretty for some longs there. Let's get it, guys. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. OC, what you got for us on Litecoin, bro?
Oh man, Litecoin has blown up. I mean, especially with that kind of news. Let's do a little bit of a recap. Oh yes, let's do a little bit of a recap here because yesterday I went through most of my assets in here on Crypto Basics, right? In Crypto Basics, I told you something like Litecoin. I'm not gonna be touching at this point. EOS, Atom, and BNB because they had this same pattern when we come back down, and then we have this little triangle of symmetrical triangle, right? The only reason or the only way that I will be touching this will be, and there you go, you have my drawings here as we break above the zero line, and this has moved a little bit, but if we do this as we have an increment, oh come on, it was something around there, of our prime score. So it seems like everything just went bananas here. I mean, we have a breakout, look at that, one candle retracement and pullback, right? So it's not about the breakout, it's about your retest. Too fast for me, went off, And at this point, we have taken previous highs in here, so we should be looking for retracement to re-enter. Do not chase after trades. Do not go bananas on Bitcoin because, man, Bitcoin and the FOMO right now, my heart is pumping. But let's just get that out of the way right here. We need to see that candle structure. Maybe we can start going to the 15 minutes at this point and looking for that retracement. So far, we have a couple of trend lines in here. Let's draw them, right? Kind of like a megaphone pattern. Usually that kind of megaphones breaks to the downside, but still we have a lot of momentum. So looking for maybe that flip of the ribbon in that sharp, and let me clear this up so we can see it clearly, in that sharp V-shaped recovery on the true 7 might be leading the way for the next breakout and continuation. So if you're looking to enter, maybe some breaking this area right here, making the 132 with a flip of the ribbon confirmation, the 15 minutes could be it. Remember, this is not financial advice. By the way, we're still having, or trading, we're still having some issues in here. If you have that kind of mistakes or errors, sorry, just go into your settings, change something, change it back, and then let it load once again. That should be fixing your indicators working. Let me go to other things because Solana was one of those assets I told you I'm not going to be touching. Why? Because look at that. Let's go back to the 4 hour. It had the same structure, or yeah, that Litecoin. You see that same structure. But right now, Solana, it's playing out as I would have loved Litecoin will play it out, right? Look at that. Breaking through the signal line, we have that that money flow jumping in, right? We have some green bars in here, still not bright green, right? So it's not calling tops. And then we have an upcoming area of bouncing. If you want to trade this is a risky entry. I'd rather wait for the pullback. Could be a 2 candle pullback in here to the, what's this? A beautiful trend line and money flow POV, right? Or so yeah. So I will be looking better for a retracement. But if you're looking to enter, if your DGen is scratching for a trade, this could be your trade setup as we go to the previous high. Remember TP number 1, TP number 2, and then trail it to Valhalla here. So other than that, be careful because we could be having pullbacks at this point. But Solana, it is right now breaking out. I'm going to be jumping in on the retracement. So look at that alert on 240, and off we go. Up next, I have gold, Costco, CRV, and Hyperliquid. We've been following Hyperliquid for a week already, and finally broke out. Hopefully you guys have listened and take some of that trade and made some money along the way.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Oh, yeah.
Got to pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket. Yeah, I think $3,000 gold definitely coming. We had a request from one of our viewers. He says, let me find it here. He said, I love the energy in here. You guys are doing great. Something. Yeah, great energy, great TA. Can you look at Trump coin? I got it. And he said the testosterone is alive in here. The estrogen's alive in here too. We got Alexandra G. She's the boss lady around here. She runs everything. Let's go take a look here at Trump coin and what I'm seeing on here on the hourly. Because one of the things that I'm watching here, guys, is we have a trend-based fib. Let me show you how I pulled these fibs so you guys can go and mirror them. I pulled these trend-based fibs off of 3 points. It is going to be low to high to low, okay? Actually, no, that is not it. It's there. Low to high to low. There. Low to high to low is how I pulled those fibs. And then you can see that the trend-based fib has given us this extension to the downside, right? Look at our golden pocket. This has been where we have been consolidating at for our lows over and over and over. Those levels are coming in between 25.9 cents or $25.9, I should say, and $27.3 is our golden pocket range there. That's the 0.66 to the 0.618, meaning 66% of the retracement and 61.8% of the retracement. Shout out to Melissa. She said, can you please explain that stuff better? I got you, Melissa. So looking at what we're seeing here, though, guys, what I would have to see in order to get bullish on Trump coin, if you're looking at this for like a buy thing, not financial advice, anytime that you're in the golden pocket, sure, you could trade this thing for a long. As soon as it hits the dynamic reactor here, sell off. Look, rejection, 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 like over and over and over again. If we come up here and we reject on this, that's your chance for a quick scalp short back down into the golden pocket. But if we break this and we retest it as support and get a positive OC retest on this, guys, then you're looking at the next level being the 50%. You can get up there and set that up with a very tight stop loss under that dynamic reactor for a long to that level on a scalp. You could also get that set up to be your short entry on the 50. There's a lot of plays you can make here, but you're going to have to keep your finger on that button. You're going to have to keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on with the price action and watch it because the volatility on Trump coins has been really bad. But right now we are showing that this golden pocket level is a great accumulation point if you have faith that this token is doing something down the road. That's what I'm seeing on Trump right now. Looking at the oscillator to add to that, it does look like money flow is coming back up. The oscillator ribbon is coming back up, and we just printed a hidden bullish divergence while also getting the uptrend. So a lot of things on here are saying, hey, it's time for this to move up. But remember, we've got major resistance coming in at $28 even. That is the dynamic reactor. OC, let's kick it back over to you. Let's see what you got, bro. We got about 14 minutes. So what you got for us, man?
All right, let's get started with gold, and let's go to Costco. I'm interested in Costco because we had a little bit of a pullback, and I did enter in Costco, and now it's moving. So, but first, gold. I bought gold yesterday. Well, who handles this wallet? It is my fiance. She gets gold. She gets all of this that is not crypto related, right? So we set up an entry yesterday. Hopefully, it has been taken. Most likely, it has been taken. And today, right now, we are having a little bit of a movement to the upside. We also jumped yesterday in again on Nvidia. So just so you guys know, right? At this point, we have breaking previous highs. We are not yet on all-time highs. I mean, almost there to break all-time highs. I think we're going to be breaking all-time highs because look at that. We are just starting to go into reversal areas, but not quite there yet. So I believe that we're going to have a big body candle like this. Like, well, you know, gold is not that big of a huge candles unless we're breaking through dynamic reactor, right? So big body candles based on the previous candle action to then maybe have a retracement and continuing up. If you're looking to get some gold, this is not financial advice, but I would tell you to think it twice before you buy all-time highs, all right? Just so you know. So also, we're going to be taking half of what we positioned yesterday, and that is because we are hitting all-time highs. So let's go gold. You can do it, my friend. Costco, really quick. I was looking at this up-ranging movement. I was looking at this bull flag formation, and also something interesting. I was expecting a little bit of a further movement to the downside. In fact, you can see my second position being open or trying to get it open at 953. That is because we had a bearish divergence, but also we have a goose hit, right? So we were expecting a retracement for the further move and then a bigger retracement. So far, we have a big body candle breaking through that channel. Most likely when I do 1, 2 candles, 3 candles for retracement, maybe that retracement is not even there. Maybe it's higher, somewhere around that. And why is that? Let me get my VPVR here. Come on, VPVR, where are you? There it is. And you'll see that right here, we have a chunky area of ranging. Therefore, we could maybe just grasp the top of it, right? Make a little bit of a bull flag like this one, and then off we go to previous highs. This is going to be TP number 1 for me, or when in this case, it's going to be TP number 2 because I'm planning to take some out at this point. Maybe not in this candle, maybe in the next candle, because we're having that push to the upside. So far, let me just get hyper liquid for the next round. But we've been looking at it, and we had our breakout. Go hyper liquid. Passing it over to you, Piper.
Awesome. Let's talk about Avalanche. I want to talk about some AVAX before we hop out of here, because what I'm seeing on here, is this, and I'll explain what you just asked in a second, LBC. I got you, man. I have a lot of knowledge on that stuff. So what we're seeing here, guys, we did get a bounce on Avalanche here on the 4 hour off of the value area low coming back here. We are right now at a little peak of volume, but you can see the real level is going to be right here. That's going to be the dashed red line running across the chart. That is your point of control coming in at about $35.17. Okay. I am going to be watching for this because if we get this move here on the 4 hour and we are able to get up above here, this little level, I want to bring this to the 1 hour and let's talk about what I'm seeing here with the dynamic reactor and the quantum reactor on the 1 hour. They're sitting right here beneath this point of control. Okay. Looking at it on the 4 hour, they are crossing right here at about $36 above the point of control. But watch this. When I throw in my fibs, look at what we have here going on. We've now gotten a breakup and a retest of the 0.66 at $33.73. Previously, we did have a little breakdown below there a couple of times, hitting those levels for support. And now we are up above this level, showing support in the golden pocket. If we are able to get above the 0.618 here, which is 61.8% fib, that would be directly on that point of control coming back here to that volume node, okay? That would be where I look at this on the 1 hour and I go, okay, guys, this is why you, by the way, this is why you look at different time frames, because that 4 hour not looking as bullish with these reactors as what the 4 hour is, right? But this is going to give us a retest. If we get a retest at $35.14 on the point of control on that golden pocket above these two levels, then it is very likely that we are now looking at heading up into the 4 hour level. If we are able to get a rejection off this, you could set up a short on that, sure. But I actually think that what we're seeing on the higher time frame, we have a lot more room to go. Money flow's coming up, volume starting to come up. The oscillator ribbon is pushing us to the upside also, and that is going to give us that momentum to get through. Can I go back to 4 hour things? The momentum to get through these and retest again. You could even enter in on a second part of your entry while moving your stop loss up once we break above those and show support on the quantum reactor and dynamic reactor. And those are coming in at about $36.30 ish in that ballpark. Looking at this on the daily real fast, guys, just to give you an idea of what Avalanche, what AVAX is looking like here. Look how low we are on pretty much everything. Histogram is just now coming up. Power bar on the daily has wicked out. It said, hey, look, the downward trend weakening big time. We got an uptrend here. Last time we got the uptrend, right there, led to this entire push up. And by the way, on the daily, that move to the upside was about 19%. So good trade setting up here on Avalanche. With us being low on the RSI and all of this just now starting to push to the upside, guys, we could be right at the beginning of watching a move all the way back up into some of these previous levels that we saw at $38 and at $41. That's what I'm seeing on Avalanche. OC, let's kick it back over to you. Got about 7 minutes, bro. Oh, I want to go talk about what I just saw from LBC before I let you go over there. He said, is it possible that the Black Hawk was hacked? No. What is more likely is that, so our air traffic control has to communicate for the military. They communicate over to another channel for the air traffic control commercial side. There is a delay of information to information. So they were aware that a plane was there, but they could not see it. And they were flying in blackout mode because that's what they do for practicing at night. They minimal lights on, right? So if they were doing a low level and they knew that there was a avenue, an AA as an aviation avenue, right? Within their, and they had their restricted operating zone, their RAWs, the military side did. Their RAWs had an overlap and they had to communicate that. But if there's any delay in that communication, that's why right before the impact, they said, does anyone have eyes on CJ? What? Because they knew that there was something coming through their rods, but they had to push over, but they did not have the timing right. And it is likely because of the delay between the military side of air traffic control to the commercial side of air traffic control. So there you go. That's how that works, man. And it happens. This is why you see accidents happen all the time. So I do not know if he was trained by Tradefly. Tradefly flies fixed wing, not rotary wing. So there you go. OC, what do you got for us on the chart, bro?
So let's take a look at the hyperliquid. It's finally breaking out. Remember, we've been talking about it for a long, long time. Now that has broken out, remember, let's just visit my previous analysis because it was, it was a little faulty, just to say, right? I was expecting the last retracement here for an entry, did not play it out, right? And I was expecting maybe the next retracement to be maybe farther down here. So I did not enter on the breakout, right? So I was expecting that retracement, which was fine because I was seeing I was also expecting that pullback on the oscillator right here to then enter on the flip of the ribbon, which is still fine. That's why we need to be dynamic on our analysis, right? So let me just pull this up in here, and right now you see that it's starting to curve down. We have a reversal here, and then also we have some power bar at the top. We also see a little bit of absorption at the top wick here. So what are we going to be expecting? These guys, and I'm going to show you a little trick at the end of this analysis, but at this point, I'm going to be waiting for either a bull flag like this, right? Maybe not even retracing all the way down. So I will be maybe expecting a goose head or something like that, all right? And then jump in and continuing up. There is a chance that I miss this trade. And guys, remember that we are not here to gamble. We are here to allocate our money on the best area possible, right? So if the thing moves and we don't have a chance because there was no landing area, well, then we just let it go, right? And this is one of those things that we might have to let it go unless you want to hold it, all right? So look at the liquidations here. What's going to be faster or easier for market makers to take? The red lines all the way down here, so they need to manipulate all of this price action, or the very next high ones. So I would say the very next high ones or above lines, right? Until when? Until we have an empty area. So there's a real chance that we do this and then we retrace, right? So our next entry would be here instead of here. So once again, guys, if we have the retracement, because we do have some resistance there, let me show you to you. Right here, we have a purple line, right, from predictive ranges. We have an area of resistance, but this one, look at that, it is peering to this area right here. And finally, oh, pivots, where are my pivots? There we go. We are breaking one of the pivots. Where is the next pivot? All the way up here. So despite we have some resistance, it is not such a big resistance that I could be maybe just saying for sure. Well, you can never say for sure, right? But a higher be careful there. Passing it over to you, my friend.
Into my chart, let's take a look at Chainlink here. First of all, Piper Sniper kit, guys, my own curated indicators here. Got a dynamic fibs on here. These automatically will print and then pull across, looking at the last however many candles you set it at. Looking at this pull from the top to the bottom, here is your retracement, right, guys? Look at the golden pocket there, holding perfectly as support on Chainlink. Let's go ahead, though, and look at some of the more traditional stuff here. I got some fibs that I've also pasted here, pulling from a low to a high. There's your low to your high for that fib retracement down. Guys, remember what I talked about on the 50? If we come down on the 50 and find support and bounce on it, very bullish. We've done it 3 times here now on the 4-hour candles, giving us a last bounce here, also in line with the quantum reactor, giving us a support bounce also. So confluence there on the 50 and the quantum reactor for that upside move. Right now, we are hitting the 236. Don't think that's going to be a problem. When I look at down here at the oscillator, it does look like money flow's coming up. Volume is coming up. Why are you grabbing? I need you to paint. Thank you. Volume is coming up, money flow is coming up. I would see that we are getting a little high on the RSI ribbon, the oscillator ribbon. So maybe we get up here and we get that bounce of support. If we do reject here, I'm going to be watching the dynamic reactor, which is coming in right here on top of the 382 currently. It went flat right there, and that is where I would watch for the bounce if we reject where we are for another move to the upside. Long entry there would be $23.62. If we break up and get a bounce of support, retest, OC retest on the 23.6% fib, then that would be $24.99 that I would be watching for the upside. $25 really. That's where we're getting a rejection on top of that psychological number. But got a couple of other things. Check this out. This is anchored VWAP. This is being pulled all the way from back here in December of 2024. And this is our upper band of the anchored VWAP here. Big support level, a big resistance level, that we need to watch at $26.16. Maybe you make that, you take profit one, move your stop loss up. The last thing that I wanted to show is a fixed range volume profile, which is going to be putting that upper level of that anchored VWAP right in line with the value area high of this entire fixed range volume profile. Right now, if we do drop below us, guys, this point of control, going to be a good area to watch for support also. That is what I got there. We are at the bottom of the hour right now. It is 8:30 OC. We did it. We made it through, and we kept a lot of people. Guys, we appreciate you all joining us here. If you did not do so yet, smash that like button and share this out with a friend. OC, what do you got for the people on the way out, man?
Oh man, today I have a very nice shout out that I want to give away. Yesterday I have a technical issue with a couple of things here around the office, and there was one guy in the States that helped me out. Like, man, the customer service of this man was fantastic. Ricky, I'm talking about you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much for your messages. Man, my heart is with you. Thank you once again. Other than that, guys, be careful in the markets. Click that like button, because if you do, you're going to catch that top like we just did right now. Go check out Bitcoin. It retraced on our candle taking profits. So click that like button and take those profits.
That's it. That's it. All right, guys, we will be back here tomorrow morning at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time doing the morning market report every Monday through Friday. We have 5 live shows daily on this channel. We've got the Good Morning Crypto pre-market. We've got our show, the Morning Market Report. You're watching it right now. And then we've got Trade Academy with Trade Intuition at 4 p.m. Eastern. Crypto Nightcap at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we have the Markets After Dark. So 5 live shows daily here on the Piper Academy Network. We appreciate you all. We will catch you tomorrow morning. Until then, trade safe. And as always, use some risk management. Let's head to Randy Hipper's show. Drop those graduation caps in the chat, guys. Later.
I don't know what they keep telling me. I don't know what they keep telling me. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. Ain't no school like Piper Academy. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. Trade flag at the soul, train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti. Yo, crunch crypto with a deep dive to reject dime. And if you like the visual powered by Car Prime, then you were part of that alumni, that's all spine. But if you have step, fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. Sound off. To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Rip it, Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude.